When Joan Crawford passed away in 1977, Hollywood mourned the loss of a legend. She had risen from humble beginnings to become one of the most powerful women in film history. However, behind the glamour, the carefully crafted public image, and the awards, there was another side to her story. After her death, her will revealed shocking details that left her family and fans astounded. The revelations about her estate, her relationships, and her private life would haunt both the industry and her family for decades. Born Lucille Fay Lassour on March 23, 1904, in San Antonio, Texas, Joan's early life was far from easy, setting the stage for the complex woman she would later become. Early hardships and determination to escape. Poverty. Joan Crawford's life began in adversity. Her father abandoned the family when she was very young, leaving her mother to raise Joan and her older brother in poverty. By the age of 11, Joan was already working as a laundress, doing backbreaking work just to make ends meet. At 12, a serious injury changed her life forever when she tried to jump onto a moving car and severely cut her foot. Doctors even considered amputating her leg, but after 3 surgeries, she recovered. This traumatic experience left Joan with a lifelong fear of infection and an obsession with cleanliness. This obsession would become a defining aspect of her public image and a darker, hidden side of her personal life. A new identity and the road to stardom. Joan's determination to escape poverty led her to dance, and by the early 1920s, she was performing in Chicago and New York. It wasn't long before MGM noticed her striking presence, and in 1925, they offered her a contract. This deal also came with a new identity, Joan Crawford. It was the beginning of a fast-paced rise to stardom. Throughout the 1920s and early 1930s, Joan starred in films that captured the essence of the jazz age, such as Our Dancing Daughters, where she portrayed a flapper, dancing through scenes despite bleeding feet. By the early 1930s, she was a household name, rivaling stars like Greta Garbo and Norma Shearer. But despite her fame, her personal life remained turbulent, rivalries and struggles. Behind the curtain. By the mid-1930s, Joan Crawford had solidified her place as one of MGM's brightest stars, starring in films like Grand Hotel and Sadie McKee. Her portrayal of working-class women who rose to wealth resonated with audiences during the Great Depression. But behind the scenes, she was entangled in rivalries with other stars, notably Norma Shearer, who was married to MGM's head, Irving Thalberg. Joan famously quipped, "How can I compete with Norma when she's sleeping with the boss?" Despite this, Joan's films often outperformed Shearer's at the box office. Her rivalry with Greta Garbo was different. While Garbo exuded mystery and elegance, Joan was relatable, hardworking, and tireless, which endeared her to a Depression-era audience. But Joan's personal life was far from stable, marked by several failed marriages and complicated family dynamics. Strained marriages and a longing for family. Joan Crawford's private life was filled with turbulence. Her first marriage to Douglas Fairbanks Jr. in 1929 ended after 4 years, largely due to infidelity and rejection from his family. Her second marriage, to actor Franchot Tone in 1935, was marked by passion, but also violence and heartbreak, with rumors of abuse. In 1942, Joan married actor Philip Terry, and the couple adopted a son, though Joan later changed his name to Christopher after their divorce. Unable to conceive biological children, Joan turned to adoption, adopting her first daughter, Christina, in 1940. Over the following years, she would adopt 3 more children, Christopher and twin girls, Kathy and Cindy. On the surface, her family appeared perfect, but the reality was much darker, with emotional scars that would later come to light after her death. The shocking will and family fallout. When Joan Crawford passed away in 1977, The public expected a graceful farewell from a Hollywood icon. Instead, the reading of her will shocked everyone. Her estate, worth around $2 million, equivalent to over $10 million today, was divided in a way that left her children reeling. Two of her adopted children, Kathy and Cindy, received trust funds and personal belongings, including the Oscar she won for Mildred Pierce. But the most shocking part of the will was the exclusion of Joan's two other children, Christina and Christopher. The will stated, "It is my intention to make no provision herein for my son Christopher or my daughter Christina, for reasons which are well known to them." This public rejection was a final act of estrangement that would ignite a fierce legal battle. Legal battle and Christina's memoir. Christina and Christopher immediately contested the will, arguing that Joan was mentally unfit when she signed it due to her years of heavy drinking and erratic behavior. They claimed that Kathy and her husband had exerted influence over Joan and manipulated her decision. The case dragged on for nearly 2 years and attracted massive media attention. In 1979, the case ended in a settlement, with Christina and Christopher each receiving $55,000, a fraction of what they would have inherited. Christina's memoir, Mommy Dearest, further fueled the public's perception of Joan as an abusive and controlling figure, painting a picture of a woman who had been anything but the perfect mother her public image suggested. Disturbing discoveries in Joan's estate. As Joan's estate was sorted through, even more disturbing discoveries were made. Among her possessions were collections of doll heads, some arranged neatly on shelves, others packed away in boxes without bodies. These doll heads were seen as a disturbing symbol of Joan's obsessive control over the people in her life. Her homes were also filled with heavy-duty locks, many of which were used to seal closets and rooms, suggesting a woman who tried to keep secrets hidden or punish those who disobeyed her. In Christopher's former bedroom, deep scratches on the inside of the door seemed to support Christina's claims of confinement and isolation as a form of punishment. A secret safe and hidden letters. Further into Joan's estate, a secret safe was discovered, containing financial records, personal letters, and photographs. Among the items were letters hinting at tensions with her children and conflicting emotions about her own role as a mother. The safe also held compromising images and notes, some of which revealed a woman struggling with guilt and resentment toward her children. These findings presented a stark contrast to the glamorous, controlled image Joan had spent years cultivating. They painted a picture of a woman who was deeply conflicted and who struggled with the emotional scars of her past. Haunting stories from Joan Crawford's estate. After Joan Crawford's death, stories of paranormal activity surrounding her former home began to circulate. Known as El Jodo, the mansion had once been the scene of glamorous Hollywood parties. However, after Joan's departure, it became infamous for its supposed hauntings. Residents reported strange noises, cold spots, and eerie occurrences like objects moving on their own. Some claimed to have seen a ghostly figure in a white gown, resembling Joan, while others heard faint crying coming from the nursery where her children had lived. Paranormal investigators suggested that the house held the residual energy of Joan's intense, often painful relationships with her children. Joan's haunted legacy, a final reflection. Joan Crawford's legacy has become one of Hollywood's most tragic and haunting tales. From the shocking exclusions in her will to the eerie discoveries within her estate, her story serves as a reminder of the darkness that can lurk behind even the most carefully constructed public personas. Whether one views Joan's choices as reflections of a cruel nature or the scars of a woman who fought to survive in a brutal world, her life remains a powerful cautionary tale about the costs of fame, obsession, and control.